Hello, everybody. We're on try two. Michali's coming on, so we're just gonna wait for her for a minute, and for some of you to show up. Hello, Michali. Let me invite you, and hello, Amalki. 1 second. Accept.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Michali. How are you? Okay, I'm doing well. Let's
Okay,
see.
I don't know if you can see or hear me
Yes,
okay.
I can.
Okay.
Side?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi has been having some issues,
Okay.
so.
All good. All good. Usually,
Okay,
like you're
awesome.
right there, so I figured maybe you messaged me. Like I didn't like confirm, and then I was like, maybe you need 5 minutes. I just didn't want to like talk to myself for 5 minutes. So I said, like,
No, you don't want to talk
confirm.
to yourself for 5 minutes, Faye? Show everyone how it's done.
Talk to myself all day. Yeah,
We all do, right? It's called the internal dialogue.
exactly. Anyways, I love the question. I don't know why. Like I found it so endearing. So for whoever asked the question about making friends after 50, like I'm like trying to think like why I liked it so much. Um, I think that's so brave, and I also think that like yeah, I think brave is like the best word to define it. And like I love that we have 50-year-olds following us, first of all. Also, like I just love that too. That like people that are 50 are like on social and asking questions and engaged and like didn't give up on themselves because like they have a whole life ahead of them, which is the truth. And like that they realize that makes me really happy. So like I guess just backtrack. The question was, how do we make friends? How do I make friends after 50? It could be there were like a few more details that are part of a non-Jewish gym. So I guess they want Jewish friends. Anything I left out on that one?
I'm just looking at it. Keeps going out of it. Okay. It's any ideas how to meet new friends at age 50? I go to non-Jewish gym. I'd love to foster deep friendships. Any ideas? I've lost touch with old friends over the years. My kids are big now, so I want to get out more, need people to hang out with.
Yeah. Okay. So same idea basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it?
So I think that, it even whatever stage we're in, it can feel really overwhelming and hard to make friends,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you follow the like typical in the box kind of upbringing, right? We all end up going to school, right? And whether we like the people we go to school with or not, those are our peers.
Right.
Those are that's the pool that we're kind of drawing from when it comes to socializing,
Yeah.
right? And so we have to make it work in some
Mm-hmm.
way, or we feel lonely, right, and alone. But that's basically what we have access to. We can't get into a car, we can't
Yeah.
drive, right? These are our options, and we have to kind of accept that those are our options. Now, what I find interesting is that for people that have gone to the same schools, like from elementary school or primary school to middle or junior high school to high school, um, they they feel more intimidated and threatened when it comes to how to make friends as adults, because the last time they actually had to form brand new friendships was likely, in kindergarten, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at their first summer camp, experience kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I get this question a lot from, interestingly, like younger adults who've, let's say, gotten married, moved to a new community, and they don't know anyone and they're not sure how to get to know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I also get this question a lot from people who, like this woman who their kids are older and they're more like empty nesters, and now it's like, oh wait, I actually have more time on my hands and I want to socialize and be with
Mm-hmm.
people. Um, every single human being has a need for belonging and to socialize.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what I would say is, because you can drive, because you're not trapped, you're not a child
Mm-hmm.
anymore,
Mm-hmm.
you get to be more selective when it comes to who you hang out with and who you
Yeah.
choose to be friends with. And so I would first start with myself, and I would think about what are things that I'm either interested in, what are my hobbies, what are my talents, what are
Mm-hmm.
my strengths, what are my values. For example, like, do I like volunteering for certain things? Like,
Mm-hmm.
am I passionate about certain things? And then I would start to research different places that kind of cater to each one of those things, right? So my hobbies or my talents or my passions or, you know, my values.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are I'm going to start to meet people in any one of those places, especially if I go there consistently, like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start to get to know the people. And then as I start to get to know them, I'll be able to tell, oh, you know what, I like you, or I'm not so into you. We're not, our chemistry is not the great, you know, that kind of thing. I think that process is really what enables us to make adult friendships. You know, so just a couple examples with each category, right? A hobby is something that you like to do for fun, right? So it can be like an art class or painting class or a dance class. Talent might be you have a good voice, right? So you might join a singing group, or you might be super organized and help people organize their homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a values-based thing is like you might feel really passionate about, let's say, helping children in hospitals. So you might go visit them once a week with an organization,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there are people involved with every single category that you get to have access to and meet. And so those are all potential friendships.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you broke it down. I did not think about, like, my mind right away went to like volunteering, because I know that like people do that at that age, and it's beautiful because also like you're meeting people that share a similar value system. And I think at that age you're like, you know, you have some sort of depth that like values are important to you. So like there's a good chance that the people that you're meeting share a similar value system in other ways as well. And also like most people that are volunteering have that extra time, so they might also have the extra time to like socialize, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's like great, but I love that you broke it down into like values, hobbies, you know, talents. I think that's like so smart. I was also thinking like, can you like pick up on old friendships that maybe like drifted away, you know? And even if you're not in the same locality, you can, you know, virtually reconnect, whether it's by phone, whether it's by Zoom, and having like, or FaceTime, or whatever it is. Like I think that that's like something that we often like overlook, but there's a good chance that those people would love to reconnect with you, and there's a good chance not, so you have to be up for some rejection there too. But I think that there's something about like rekindling a friendship and like realizing that like there's so many ways that you can connect even if things are so different and you live so far apart.
I like that. That's a really great piece to revisit old friendships. And yeah, I think that, you know, when I see, let's say, seniors, even though I know this woman's not a senior, sitting at, let's say, a bagel store, I really like almost like superimpose this image of, let's say there are like 4 senior women sitting at a bagel store. I kind of superimpose this like image of like 4 20-year-olds like sitting at a bagel store. And I think that, you know, just because our exteriors look older doesn't mean that our interiors have caught up to our exteriors, you know? And so I think that at this stage of life, just because they're at the stage of life doesn't mean that they have things all figured out. And I think that, you know, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay. And I think that it's, you know, this process is going to be very rewarding for this person because they're going to get to learn more about themselves in a different and newer way. And that can kind of help us solidify more what our values are. And because we have that extra time, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, totally.
Those are my morning musings.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking like it's not that different. Like you said, like the advice that we're giving this 50-year-old woman is the exact same advice I'd give a 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I would say, you know, is there anyone at work that you like? But I'm assuming she exhausted. Like if someone's at work at 20 or whatever it is, you know, they might have exhausted those possibilities already. But like it's the exact same advice. Like what are the things that you're interested in? What are the things that you're talented with? What are the things that, you know, do you have the time to volunteer? Like if you're looking to make friends, it takes going a little bit out of your comfort zone. And I would say, hey, are there any people that, like, let's say this, if she was younger and single, I would say like, you know, maybe there are other single girls that you weren't friends with in high school, but like now you might have more similarities than you had then. Or maybe there are these married friends that are already settled on some level and want to reconnect with you. It's exactly what advice, like you said, our interiors didn't change. And, you know, even if our exteriors did a bit, but like the ways that we find connection are pretty much the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
thank you for paraphrasing in a way that hopefully makes more sense.
No, totally. Like
you're like
thought,
the translator.
Your thought what made me get that thought. So it was totally taken
Thank
from
you,
you.
Faye. I appreciate that.
But I think that, yeah, I love the question. I just want to say, like, whoever's listening to this and whoever asked the question, I have a lot of respect. I think that it's beautiful that you're finding, like, being willing to explore. I think that many people in, like, 50s, 60s, 70s, they kind of like accept their status quo, and like if they're lonely, then that's like what they kind of like resign to be lonely. If they don't have friends, they resign that that's the way it's going to be, and then maybe they meddle in their children's lives or do other unhealthy, unproductive things with their time. And I think that this is a way to really be proactive and do something really healthy for yourself. And I hope that this response like helps you see that like you're not it's a very smart move that you're doing, and you're not too late. So this is exactly the same advice we'd give a 20-year-old or 18-year-old. So I think that's really smart.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Exactly. Amazing. Thank you, Michali. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Faye.
And
thank you so much.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.